Good evening, I'm Christina Evans.
And I'm Brittany Parrish.
The two men were seen getting into a light-colored SUV. They haven't been seen since.
Right when Hannah saw that the car drove away, she decided to call the police.
Gwinnett County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
He's a transgender male, and he and his lawyers are citing discrimination because under the current healthcare program, they will not pay for his gender reassignment.
Tornado drill was a part of severe weather preparedness week. The siren sounded at 9 a.m. sharp.
A victim's tattoo depends on where it is on the body. Typically, victims are marked on the neck, the wrist, or the chest.
Have said that things like laptops have been left untouched on the seats, but napkins have been stolen from the glove compartment.
I just were able to salvage some personal items.
Social workers in libraries is something happening across the nation, and the Athens Clarke County Library will be the first trauma-informed library.
There are some differences between plant-based foods and foods that are plants. For example, a plant-based food is like this coconut yogurt that I have in my basket here, and a food that is a plant is like this kiwi.
Led the robber here into this crawl space where he hid until police arrived.
Some police departments have started using them to track down fugitives, and some fire departments have started to use them to fly over fires and track the hotspot. But some drone users, especially recreational users, aren't aware of the harm that they bring to airports, pilots, and
Clarke County Board of Education has just appointed a new person to fill the seat of the District 2.
This is where the stop happened. The incident report is saying that arresting officers found a large bag of cocaine, marijuana, a 12-gauge shotgun, and $755 in cash inside of Colin's pocket.
Since the start of the program in 2018, they've put about 6 pacemakers in dogs just like Cooper.
Winds from these tornadoes caused widespread damage. The tornado in Lee County, Alabama actually traveled along this path for 26 miles.
On email and data servers, but emergency services like 911 dispatchers were still intact. Jackson County consulted with the FBI and brought in cybersecurity specialists. The attackers demanded a ransom that was paid via Bitcoin.
This ambulance is one of 6 advanced life support ambulances placed throughout the county to ensure the best response time possible.
She is out of Jackson County and is only a sophomore in high school. Meet Livy Blackstock from Jefferson High School.
Family members were shocked when they showed up here late this morning, and they're still here right now, sifting through all of this destruction you see behind me to try and salvage any mementos that they possibly can.
The fire department makes up 50% of the rating, with water and emergency call services making up the other.
Local Muslim students and community members, and they told me that they are not afraid, despite the attack that took 50 lives.
At the admissions office, they received over 29,000 applications.
Kayla McPherson averaged 23.7 points right here in her home gym, where the Red Raiders only suffered 1 loss the entire season in the state playoff.
The Grand Slam program used to be held right here at Bishop Park.
At the corner of Habersham Drive, right off South Millage Avenue, the men got into a Ford Expedition and were never seen again.
That's right. Georgia managed to top the list as the #1 state to face identity
on the vibration platform that participants of the study will also stand on, it's emitting a barely perceptible vibration that eventually the hope is will have local effects on the muscle and central effects on the central nervous system that will improve balance.
This new solar array is the first of its kind in Athens, Clarke County, and it includes over 1,800 solar panels that track with the sun as it moves across the sky.
Georgia had 3 players drafted in the first round in April, and this year the Bulldogs could see 2 more players drafted in the first round. DeAndre Baker is expected to be a first-round draft pick, and Riley Ridley could also slip up there as well.
4 students involved in the video have been kicked out of the fraternity. The fraternity itself has been suspended, though the frat says the incident did not occur on its property. We want to warn you that the video is offensive, though we have bleeped out.
Day at Shaktir Pure Bar, the women bond over Journey Juice. Owner Amy Lawrence is also a part of this entrepreneur.
If you see someone bleeding out, you or someone you know can apply this tourniquet, and it goes between the wound and your heart, and you take this side of the strap with the red piece on it and pull it towards your heart.
To add an extra level of safety to your Uber ride, they have this feature that I'm using right now that lets your friends and family track your ride and make sure you get where you're going safely.
Wheel represents the childhood that we want all children to have. He said we're trying to celebrate what childhood could and should be.
Full bloom and beautiful up here on North Campus, but my eyes and throat are itching and watering over the past few days, and I have a bit of congestion still. I spoke with some students and a nurse in an ENT's office, and she gave me some coping
I was
tips.
able to take a look inside of the Athens High and Industrial School and received a
personal tour from Athens native, Mr. Richard Cornelius.
You don't need your typical ball and glove for this game of baseball. Instead, the extra special kids use this extra
We
special
still
ball.
don't know whether or not the suspects and the victims knew each other. However, one suspect is right behind me in the Athens-Clarke County jail.
Also file an incident report right here at the police department using
An
this
official
kiosk.
from National EMS right here in Athens told me he thinks the areas most affected by the shortage are southern rural parts of Georgia. He says right here in Athens, we're not
For
understaffed
these
at all.
lizards, researchers didn't have a suitable animal to study to manipulate human genetics, specifically to study specialized structures in the eye. What this genetic modification allows them to do just
On
that.
weekdays, she's completing her second semester of advertising classes here at Grady College while also working as an events intern in Athens.
Fire is still unknown, but there are no deaths or injuries. I spoke with Grady grad Amber Garnett today, and although Garnett is in Washington, D.C., her heart is with the people of Paris.
Honestly heartbroken just because it's such a magnificent place, and I know it's such a symbol for so many people around the
Win
world.
this weekend gave the Bulldogs their 10th regular season SEC championship in program history. The last championship came for the Bulldogs in 2013.
Probably not going to get bitten if you're just hanging out at the park, but on the chance that you are, the best thing to do is to take a writing utensil and circle the spot where you're bitten. So then when you go to the hospital, they can evaluate where the poison might have spread or if it was even spread at all.
Ever had the feeling that someone is eavesdropping on your conversations? Siri?
This is an active investigation with the gunman still on the run. The student was found bleeding right here. We have his name, but we are not releasing it just
The
yet.
victim says that he's been with the family at the hospital all day, and he says right now the prognosis looks good. He said the victim was responsive at the scene before he was sedated. So I spent the day talking to students and investigators about the safety of the area where the crime actually
Crime
happened.
statistics page on the Athens-Clarke County Police website links to crime reports data. These reports showed 3 previous assaults in the last 8 days in the same area as the 2 armed robberies this
Better
morning.
alternative to confetti is crushed up leaves or even
States
sprinkles.
Department of Transportation says you can travel the entire length of a football field, like Sanford right behind me, just by looking at your phone for 5 seconds.
Candelario told me that you can keep up with the measles outbreak at cdc.gov to see if there are any measles cases near you.
For tonight, I'm Christina Evans.
And I'm Brittany Paris. For the final time this semester, thank you for watching.